Oh, here's the game. Let's see. Oh, it's time to start with the knight f3, I think. Yeah, that's right. Okay, what do we get? We can get, maybe it could be an English opening. He starts with c5. Oh, he's going for the fianchetto. So, I can do a double fianchetto, I guess. I can go with d4, since he hasn't done anything with the center. Yes, let's put d4 up there now. So it's not going to be a typical Reti kind of opening, more like a Catalan. So he's going to just attack with his pawns. He has no pieces developed. I wonder if there's something I can do to exploit this. I think I should get my pieces out. Let's start with the knight. And if he pushes that pawn forward, I'm going to just take it. Yeah, so he plays the g pawn forward. I can take that one too, and I think I should get the bishop out, hit his queen. I mean, it does open up a file against my king. I guess that's what black is playing for here. Quick opening of lines. This is the sort of thing that ought not to work, but maybe you can get away with in a blitz game. I mean, if I just park my bishop here on h4, he's never chasing it away. Or a knight. I could put a knight there. Okay, we'll trade off that piece. And take here, open up the D file. So I have better development here, so quick opening of the position is probably in my favor. His king is still in the center. He's probably never coming out of the center. So I could play knight to e4 here. Knight to e4 looking at the d6 square where it's supported by the pawn. And if he takes the pawn, I can take back with the knight. Also can come into f6 with a check. So he can move the knight with tempo, threatening my knight on e4, but where can it really go? Can it really do so much damage? It can go to e5 maybe, and I'll get that check in then at least. Now, actually, this check would win the bishop. So he probably has to react to the threat of knight to d6 check. No time to play. Okay, that defends knight d6 check, actually, so that's not so bad. Doesn't defend knight f6 check, but he could play king e7. I think I like knight to d6 check better. That way I can bring my queen in. And he won't be able to castle now. Let's see. Well, he could move the queen out of the way and castle queenside. Or chase my queen away in some way. Maybe with his queen. Yeah, this is probably a reasonable move here, right? Let's take that pawn back. And yeah, he sets up for a discovered attack on my queen. Also looking at the c-pawn behind it. His bishop is loose, so I could move my queen somewhere to attack his bishop. His rook is loose in the corner. Don't see any great way to simultaneously attack both pieces, so let's just start with this move. Hit the bishop and see how he wants to defend it. Okay, brings the queen up. Now the queen is looking at the e5 square. I was thinking knight e5 might be interesting because if he takes it, I'll take back with the queen, hitting his rook. But now he's defended that. Let's just play and he defended his bishop. Let's play c3 so there's no terrible discovery on the c file. I don't want to give back those pawns that I won. And yeah, just get my rooks to the center, maybe push the e-pawn forward. Let's see. I didn't quite think that through. Knight e4, knight e5. He could play knight takes, I take the bishop. He could play queen takes. Queen takes, and I take the bishop. The bishop is hanging at the end of those sequences, so actually I could play knight e4. Knight e5, rather. Knight e5, he could take with either the queen or the knight. If he takes the queen, I take. He has to take back, and then I take the bishop. Or if he takes with the knight, then I just take the bishop immediately. I have to take with my queen. Okay, but no time right now to do that, so let's drop back here. So the c3 pawn conveniently covers b4, and d4 squares that knight might hop into. He could still hop into e5, but I will just trade it off there. He can trade off my bishop. I think that's all okay for me. I am, let's see, how many pawns am I up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm up 2 pawns. So these trades should be beneficial. My b pawn is weak. Maybe you can pile up on that. He has to take the bishop now. If he takes the knight, I'll take his bishop. So I don't know why he's pausing to think here. I don't see any other moves. Maybe there's something clever I can do with the knight after he takes the bishop. After bishop takes bishop, the material is even. If I had a great discovery with the knight, a great attack with the knight, maybe there's something I could play, but I don't see it. So I would just take the bishop back, and then he takes the knight. Maybe he'd been planning queen takes knight, and now he only realized now that his bishop is hanging, so he's forced to trade the bishop too. There he goes. I just noticed that signal, when this changes, that symbol, when it changes, it means that he's lost his connection. So maybe that's what happened there. Yeah, when it goes like this, he's no longer connected. Which, yeah, it's probably just a flaky connection he's got. Because the next move has got to be queen takes knight. There's really nothing else. And then I think I'll start unwinding my pawns on the queen side. What I really want to do is I want to play b3 and c4 so that I don't have to always be defending these weak pawns. And with the queen here, well, no, I still need to support the c pawn before I can play b4. So I guess after queen takes knight, I would play rook to c1. If he times out, I'm just going to claim victory because this is a winning position. I don't see that. Black has any great ideas. And there he goes. He finally played. Okay, so rook to c1 to defend the pawn, so I can play b3 and c4. This is defended. He has checks along this diagonal. I will just trade queens if he tries to check. And he could still castle. I'm not stopping him from castling now. But, well, I don't know if that rook does anything over here. Okay, he's just going to push the pawn forward. Now, this is potentially dangerous, right? He could mate me on this diagonal if the pawn comes all the way forward. So let's pause for a second to defend this diagonal here. I don't want to move my king back because he might trade and then pile up on the h-pawn. I want to be able to bring my rook to h1. But if he pushes this pawn all the way forward to h3, then I will drop back with my king. In fact, that's the only move. But the h-pawn is secure. It's defended in front by the pawn. So as long as I control this diagonal with my queen, my king should be pretty safe over here. And I will be able to move my other pawns forward. Okay, yeah, what does he have besides h3? He could bring a rook out. You know, bringing the rook up and over to try and harass my queen here maybe is an idea. Let's see, I could bring my rook up and over and up, and just take that pawn off if he's not paying too much attention to it. Yeah, he's disconnected again. Oh, there's his rook. Oh, yeah, so that's not a bad idea. Bring the rook up this way. So my idea was to push the b pawn forward, which I can do with tempo now, because the rook and the queen are supporting the c pawn, and I can push the c pawn forward now, and then I won't have to be babysitting these pawns all the time. You can bring the rook over to e4 here, and I would play e3 in that case. What else can he do? Rook e4 seems like the logical follow-on to what he's been playing. Maybe he wanted to play rook to g4. That doesn't work. I can just take it. I could push the pawns forward. You know what? There's a nice check sitting here when he lifted the rook. Let's back up. Yeah, when he played this move, rook up, I could have just delivered that check and picked up. Oh no, that rook is defended on their corner. Okay. Well, still, I should notice those things. Those are the things you got to look for. Okay, so he finally played rook e4. Yeah, I didn't see anything else. So my idea was just to play e3 here. Well, he'll have to move faster or lose on time now. Ah, there, he's starting to move faster. Okay. So I can play c4 at any time. I don't have to do that now. But I need to do that before moving this rook. And I wanted to play rook to d1 and double on the d file. So rook d1, rook d5. That's what I'm going for. Rook d1, rook d4. So he's going to play rook to f3, right? That's his idea. And I guess I will allow that. And then I'll put my queen over here. And so he went back to g3. So he's piling up on this. Pawn takes, rook takes, pawn takes. That still seems adequately defended. Let's double on the d file. That's my idea. Okay, his idea is to come down the H file, so I need to contest the H file immediately. So let's do that. And let's chase the queen away. Yeah, let's think about it. I could also bring my queen down here. Well, he's going to double on the H file, right? That's his next move. Let's buy a little time here. He's got to move his queen back. And I'll have to put the queen behind the rook because queen here, 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 and here, I will just trade it. So the queen goes behind the rook. Now I could, let's see, he can double up with the rook, but it's not a mate threat. So now I have time to play something like this. Threaten his king. It's more dangerous with the queens in front of the rook because there's a mate on h1 with the queen. Okay, and he ran out of time at that point. Got punished for taking too much time early on. Well, at least I finally won a game, so I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.